Before I begin, I'd like to announce, honestly and quickly, I recently made a server on Discord. If you're interested in Rougen, there's an Updates tab, alongside other people who are also interested in Rougen to connect with. It's also the absolute best place to ask me questions, or have a nice chat with me. I'm always active. But that isn't the last you've heard of that. Not by a long shot. Hey, this is Richie here from Rougen TCG, and today I'm feeling revealy. It's time that I showed off some more cards from Desperado West. Oh, this? Don't mind this. Unless you want to. Please mind that. It's about time that I showed off some more cards from Desperado West, seeing as how I'm about halfway done. That being said, I've still got my hands full. See, my hippity hopper munched on 2 entire sheets of 9 cards, setting me back by 18 out of my 63. Not to worry though, I'm already in the works of getting back into action. I just hope that it explains the delay in the uploads from since I reached my like goal on my previous video. Now, enough of the poetic conjecture, it's time to show off exactly what a full effect is. Full effects are a concept that are as of now unique to Desperado West. They are effect cards with exceptionally powerful abilities, and the trade-off requiring your effect and your creature card for the turn. Sounds simple enough, right? Now, we have 6 full effect cards ready to reveal, and let's get down to brass tacks. 3, 2, 1, kaboom. Or should I say, high noon. A common full effect card featuring what looks to be 2 or 3 vagrants having a squirt gun fight of sorts, with the effect, creatures must attack if able. For the next 3 turns, you may select to attack your creatures. Alright, I know it's a lot to unpack, so let's break it down bit by bit. 1. Although the creature doesn't say it on its text, this card is placed on the side of the field, as it's not a creature and doesn't specify otherwise. 2. If a creature must attack and they're not capable of targeting a foe's creature or the foe directly, they must attack one of their own creatures. They do not attack themselves directly though. 3. The turn's ruling begins on the foe's turn after the activation. This was specified in the conjunction of next. And 4. If a creature has 0 attack, it's not required to attack. Sorry to have to blurt out all these overly specific rulings, but it's come to my attention this card is worded rather poorly. Be it because it's hard to read or because I understand it just fine, but I didn't consider that people playtesting my game have shown these specificities necessary. Moving swiftly forward, this is a stick-up, or a bank robbery. Bank robbery's a common full effect reading play 2/0/1 hostage tokens. On your next turn, draw +1 extra cards per hostage you control. Hostage tokens have several cards that promote synergy with them. Say, for example, Old Jailer, giving these 2 hostage tokens +2 attack. Clearly, having more cards in your draw is almost always a good thing. I'm sure, given time, you too can see how powerful this card has the potential to be. Now that we're past that debacle, we've got Them's Fightin' Words. It's a common full effect with the effect. Place on the side of the field. Name an archetype. Creatures of that archetype lose -1/-1. After this card is destroyed, give them +2/+2. This card is the textbook definition of high risk, high reward. See, there are 2 ways to play this card as I see it. 1, you can play this card against your foe and hope they have no removal, take their board advantage by lowering your foe's stats, or you can play it as an archetype you are playing, remove it from the field eventually, and hope to overwhelm your opponent with higher stats on the field. Very interesting card with a lot of strategies behind it. I can imagine it in many decks. And speaking of things that I can imagine you. Yes, you. Going down to the description of this video, it's a nifty little button labeled "To the Rougen TCG Discord" I made just for you. Go on, give it a press. It's free. It'll automatically connect you with me and a bunch of other great people who also enjoy Rougen TCG. Seriously though. Anyways, no, seriously, check it out. Go to the description. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about Dust Bowl. Many things ensue after a storm over a sandy prairie. Mostly tragedies, but some are a rare full effect card with the effect, play all non-full effects in your draw. Your draw is just Rougen's slang for your hand. It's a bit different from the conventional hand because you only get 3 cards and you may choose to remove them from your hand by waiting a turn. On the surface, this may just appear to be phenomenal, but steady still your beating heart, and think about this mathematically. The general Rougen deck consists of around 7 to 12 creature cards alongside 3 to 8 effect cards. Any full effects cannot be played. Getting 2 regular effect cards alongside this card would be useless to play, and getting a creature and an effect would simply break you even. Getting 2 creatures is only fractionally better, since if you have more creatures on your field, the number of extra creatures you have cannot attack the turn they're summoned. All that complex math out of the way to say, I don't think this card is going to break any metas. It's just an impractical tool to synergize with cards that allow you to draw extra. But watch out! All that ruckus is alerted a Stampede! It's a full effect rare, with the effect deal 10 damage to a creature. If that's more than enough to grave it, use the remaining damage on another creature and continue until all damage is dealt. This is probably one of the strongest board shifting cards in the game, next to Crushing Walls and right up there with Ivorize. And finally, we have our 6th full effect, just called Duel. 2 lone gunmen. Squirt guns, I assume. Taking 6 paces at sundown. It's a rare full effect with the text destroy 1 creature on both sides of the field. The owner picks. It's a removal card for exclusively creatures that sacrifices a creature on your board to force your foe to do the same. I reckon it's an alright card so long as you're keeping board advantage. I wouldn't find much use in this card if I were losing. Now, I trust y'all are more familiar with full effects. But since I'm feeling generous, I'm going to give y'all one more peek into the oodles of cards I have in store for you in Desperado West. This is an example of a microtype. It's what I alone call a small amount of cards that look similar and have a similar function in the game, but they aren't an outright archetype. I call it a microtype. The microtype doesn't share a name, so I'll just choose to call them the Pick Your Poison microtype. Featured prominently in the Pick Your Poison microtype are Booze, a 3/1 common with the effect when this card fights a creature, this creature loses -2 attack. Or Moonshine, a 2/1 common with the effect creatures that fight this creature have their attack and defense halved. And Liquid Courage, a 6/1 with the effect creatures that fight this creature have their attack and defense swapped. While these may be some weird-looking bottles of apple juice, I assume, I think that's enough talking from me. If you... Oh no. You? You want me to mention you, too, don't you?
I am. And I do.
But you... Okay, so guys, I haven't been completely truthful with you. You see, there aren't 6 full effects. There's 7. This is one of the 3 Desperado West legendary cards, Manifest Destiny, a full effect legendary card which reads, rather than drawing, each turn select 1 card from your deck and cosplay it. There, are you happy that I mentioned you?
Yes. Now tell them the combination that you thought of the princely gauge.
What? Me? No. Is it getting hot in here? Or is it just you?
We're accusing me with rude.
Anyways, I gotta go, gang. Thank you for tuning in. If you liked, you can... check out the description for the Discord link. And I still don't have an outro. Bye!